We talk about this all the time. Do you remember this? I could see. I didn't even play yet, and I could see he does. You just like the dry heave spit. The dry heave spit of like, I'm gonna vomit all over this stage. Do you remember that?
Of all clips to bring up.
But it's just because it's so relatable. We've all been there.
Yeah.
All right, happy Friday, everyone. Make sure you're ready to go. You got that Miller Lite by your side, and you're ready to enjoy yourself responsibly. Isn't that right, Chief?
Absolutely. It's a perfect weekend for it. We're going to be having them all Saturday long.
Yeah, all Saturday long. We are doing a pregame party at Mitchell's Tap. It's at 3356 South Halstead. 12 to 3 before the White Sox game. Big White Sox 2005 reunion. So we're going to be at Mitchell's beforehand, hanging out, drinking some Miller Lites.
Special request.
What's that?
Can we get some gold cans?
That would be nice.
You had one. I saw you posted one.
I did. I had one at Bloomingdale Golf Course.
Okay.
It was beautiful. It was nice. It might have been Indian Boundary, actually. Regardless, they are out and about in the Chicago area on the golf course and other places. So it'd be nice to get a golden can. And it's a celebration if you're a White Sox fan.
Sure is.
Big weekend. See you guys there. 12 to 3, Mitchell's Tap, 3356 South Halstead. Like I said, we'll be drinking the Millers. And you can be drinking the Millers too, because Miller Lite is the official beer of the Chicago Bears. Go to MillerLite.com/stretch to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Big day, Chief. We have Patrick Kane on the show.
Yeah.
And we are going to toss that over to him.
Let's do it.
Right now. Patrick Kane, everybody. All right, everybody, welcome to the Stretch Friday interview episode. We are joined by Blackhawks legend Patrick Kane. Patrick, honestly, it's been on our Mount Rushmore of guests, so thank you for coming in, dude.
Technically, like our first guest.
Yeah, yes, technically.
Yeah, we did that chair to the Chicago Special Olympics, and he interviewed you and Pierre McGuire.
In a bald cap.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Right. He's on the bench.
Yeah.
Still have it.
That's what I was looking for. I need this sign. I'll take it with me.
We wanted to have you sign it, and we'll hang it up on the wall over there.
I think Ed needs to wear that the rest of the interview.
I might have to. Yeah.
Pop it on.
That was the first.
Is there a story behind wearing that? Or?
So we were just doing like a goofy video.
Yeah.
And
I was playing.
Yes.
And then we're trying to do like a video.
Yeah. And they're like, you got to be Pierre McGuire. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go Pierre McGuire.
Gotcha.
And then I brought you to the bench, and I think that's when Kane was running for like governor of Tennessee, and I think I asked you a stupid question
The
about
wrestler.
that.
Oh, that's
and you're like, what, dude? And I'm like, video never went out.
Yeah. You rolled with it well though, in real time.
Yeah.
How did Chief play that game?
He almost ate shit when he raced the one guy. Who'd you race?
Oh, I raced
a paraplegic.
Yeah. Well, I didn't eat shit. I actually smoked that guy.
But you were close to going down.
Well, because who was it? It might have been like Adrian Acoin was trying to like trip me and stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I played with you in a couple, right?
Yeah, one in Fox Valley.
Yeah.
And then one
Fifth Third.
Fifth Third.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I said, like, if you're actually good, you'll set me up for a goal.
How did that go?
Which you didn't.
Did I try?
You did try one shift. You're like, this is hopeless. Yeah.
Take the puck myself.
Yeah. You wheeled around the whole zone, like, looking for me, and I'm just like, I can't move.
Yeah. So what's new, man? I mean, been gone from Chicago for a couple of years.
Yeah.
How's everything?
Yeah. No, it's
Do you miss it?
It's good. I mean, Chicago's holds a huge place in my heart. Obviously starting here, I think it was 17 years here, and just an incredible ride. It was so many good times, and obviously being a Blackhawk, but just the city as well, the people embracing me and embracing the city myself. I remember the first time I came in after I got drafted, I was like so overwhelmed with the city and the traffic, and I was coming in, I was doing the first pitch of the Cubs game and singing the 7th inning stretch with Dennis Savard, and I was just like, what am I getting myself into here? And quickly like realized what a great city it is, and now I spend my summers here, my family's here, so just love it. It's great to be back, and always fun to come back for the summers.
Well, let's talk about what you're doing back in this whole 8-8 day, August 8th. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
So what's the plan for that day? What's it for?
Yeah, for sure.
What did Pete cook up for you?
Definitely really excited about it. I mean, I think just the way everything happened with the Blackhawks, getting traded to New York, then I had the surgery on my hip, so I was like not really doing anything that summer. Last summer was a bit of unknown what was going to happen as far as like what am I going to do with, where am I going to sign, where am I going to play? So I wasn't really thinking of anything as far as giving back to the city of Chicago or anything like that. And now we came up with this 8-8 day, and it's really going to be incredible.
August 8th.
Yep.
Yep.
And we're going to have a little clinic with a bunch of kids in the morning, and then we're going to do like an autograph session for fans that want anything signed, things like that. It'll be at Chicago Sports Museum and Harry Carey, so that'll be a fun day.
So maybe show up with his bald cap.
I'll be the first one.
That could probably make the museum. See that hang. And then I think the best part of the day is going to be the dinner, just like an at-night event to just kind of like have an event and talk about the good times here in Chicago. Pat Boyle's going to be running it. He's going to be emceeing it, and we'll kind of go through everything there and just have a little on-stage conversation, and people can show up and we can kind of relive the good times a little bit. So definitely looking forward to the day. I think it was a great idea, and kind of give back to Chicago a little bit because it was such like an abrupt ending with myself and my career here. So it'll be nice to see everyone out there.
Were you surprised that it was abrupt? Because
I think as a player you never really know, right? I mean, I know when Kyle took over as GM, the first thing he said was, he brought Taser and myself and a couple other guys in and said, we're going to rebuild. So what does that mean? Like,
for you,
you don't really know. The year previous, I was playing with guys like Strome and DeBrincat and Hagel and Taser. And, we thought we had a pretty good foundation. And I think I had 92 points that year. So my hip was starting to kind of bother me a little bit, and I knew that maybe I needed to do something. And then those guys kind of got moved and traded, starting with Hagel, and then DeBrincat was traded, Strome was not re-signed, so you could kind of see the writing on the wall a little bit. And as a player you try to be the best you can and do the best you can, but as the year went on, I knew I was going to probably be traded or shut down at some point to do something about my hip. And I think going into the trade deadline, I had like 7 goals in 4 games. Yeah, so I was like, I could still play on this, this way, this level. Maybe I can go somewhere and help, and decided to accept a trade to the Rangers. And it was a great experience. It was awesome, but I guess at that time you're making a move, but in the back of your mind, are you thinking like, is there ever a chance to come back here? Yeah. Like, will the team improve and I can come back?
I think about that every day.
Yeah. You might have to play like 15 more years.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that would be my question. Did they, leading up to that deadline, because I went to every game in February, every home game. You had like the buzzer beater that didn't count against Vegas, the hat trick against Toronto, maybe another one against Dallas. It was like a crazy run.
Right.
It's like, they can't trade this guy. Did they ever ask you, like, do you want an extension? Are you in for the rebuild? Anything like that? Was that ever on the table, or was it like, hey?
No, it was pretty much at that point I was just conversations with my agent, like, do I want to be moved? Where do I want to go? What teams would I accept trades to? And it was never really too much of talk about extension or anything like that. And I think then once the team got the first overall pick and had the chance to pick Bedard, it was like they were going to go in that direction, and that was fine. It was a great run in Chicago, and we had some great times, and I think that probably pretty much closed the door on it. So but I mean, no ill will or anything towards anybody.
That makes one of us. I got a lot of ill will.
Yeah.
So I always thought you would have been like the perfect, because they brought guys in when you and Taves came in, and you had kind of your core pieces, but they brought in, Bob Lang and some of these guys to like usher you along. And it's like, well, we have like the perfect guy for Bedard. Just call Brisson, set him an offer, and like let you finish as the all-time leading scorer. Like, did that stuff cross your mind? Like, I will be the all-time leading scorer, the greatest Blackhawk ever, if I'm able to finish out here, regardless of what the team is on the ice.
Not really. I mean, you think about it, like you hear about it, but it's something, nowadays, like I never think about that, right? That's just something you don't really think about. But I mean, like you said, like when myself and Johnny came in, we had guys like Robert Lang and Yannick Perreault and Martin Lapointe and Kevin Adams and Patrick Lalime, and guys that could kind of teach us the NHL way a little bit, you know. I think that was really beneficial for us, even though we had like I think that first year we might have missed the playoffs by 4 points or something, but you could kind of see we were coming, and we had some great prospects and some guys that were playing, obviously Seabrook and Keith and Taser and myself and Sharpie, and then there's some other those secondary guys, right, like Ballland and Brower and Bufflin and Bickle. Crawford was still in the system, so obviously you could see we were coming, right?
Yep.
But those veteran guys that we had my first year were great. They were awesome for us. Even Marty Havlat, he was awesome. His second or our second year, he was unbelievable. He was maybe our best player for a little bit. So a lot of guys I look back upon those first couple of years that really led the way for us and helped us out a lot. So I think it is beneficial to have some good veterans around, right?
Yeah, and they've been trying to do that with this group, and it's just like, well, you had the guy. you had him the whole time.
Yeah. I almost think like for me anyways, like moving on, going to the Rangers, and then I was doing what I was doing with my hip, and then it was like I was going to pick a new team, but I mean Taser was still here. I probably would have offered him a contract extension, let him finish out as a Blackhawk, and he's such a good leader, great veteran. Like he would have been great for those younger guys coming in to lead the way as well. So but obviously he's got his own thing going on now too, so it's good to see him back. No, I think deep down he always wanted to come back. It was just like a matter of when and how and on his terms, coming back and feeling good. So happy to see him back for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
It gonna be weird facing him.
Yeah, I was telling him the other day, he was here in Chicago. I was like, I'm going to take the face-off against you. One of the best face-off guys ever, and I'm going to snap it back. Just go 1-0 for the year. Take a draw the rest of the year.
I'm done. That's great. Speaking of the good times, we always joke about it when Big Cat, when you were on the bus with them.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to get your side of it, because I tell the story a bunch. I was lucky enough in 13 and 15, Sharpie was like, it still blows my mind, because it was 13, I showed up, I can't remember, some bar in West Loop, and I literally showed up to just take a picture with the cup and leave. And then as you guys are leaving, he's just like, where are you going? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're coming with us. I'm like, what? And I get on the bus, and Kane just, like, he's looking around the bus. It's literally just the team, and, like, everyone I think had, like, a +1, like, brothers and stuff. And Kane just goes, who the fuck brought this blog? Which, fair comment from you, because like he knew who you were. Blogs are not, they weren't always nice to you, so it's a fair comment from you. And then Sharp was like, no, he's cool. And then you were like, all right. And then you were cool the whole time, like made me feel so welcome. Yeah. But like you had to be like, why the hell is this guy here?
I remember, I think it was 2015. We showed up at Sharpie's house.
Yep.
Kind of, we're hanging out there for a while, and then we went to the Cubs game. And, we go on the field, we take the cup on the field, and then we take a picture on the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
And all the Cubs are there, all the Blackhawks, and then there's Big Cat in the picture. And my buddy Mike. Do you remember Mike?
Yes, Mike,
It was just every pro athlete that was there, and then two other guys.
I think it was
had like the biggest smile on
the biggest smile. I think it was Mike who like gave me the confidence to do it, because we were just standing there, and I was like, I'm not obviously going. And then Sharp was like, yeah, you're coming. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then we just like do a whole lap on the outfield, like waving to people. I'm like,
oh yeah.
And then the best was, the story I always tell is the in 15, like, because the way it would work, you guys win the cup, go out maybe 2 nights, and then get ready for the parade. Yeah. And the third night they brought the cup to the Pony Inn, and like all the Blackhawks staff, sales, everyone behind the scenes comes and brings their family to take a picture. And I went and I brought my buddies, and Oduya was sitting in a booth, and he was hammered, and he was just like, he looks at me, he's like, where is everyone? I think he thought I was on the team, because like I was the only face he recognized.
You're a black ace or something.
I start crossing a little bit. You don't recognize everybody after their first few nights.
He literally, like, I was the only familiar face he saw. He's just like, where are the boys? I was like, dude, you tell me. You're the one who won the cup.
What's the group chat say? Yeah.
But yeah, and then the full circle moment that was so funny, was it last or 2 years ago when your first game back at the United Center? I brought my son, who's now 6, I think he was 5. his first Blackhawks game. And in the car ride there, I'm telling him, like, all right, this is the team we root for. We root for the Blackhawks. Like, this is what they're going to be wearing. Like, you know, like, this is who we're rooting for. They're going to shoot on this goal. And then in the first period, they do a Kane tribute video, and it's a standing ovation for like 10 minutes. And my son looked at me, he's like, why are we cheering for this guy? He's on the other team. And I was like, all right, I didn't explain that part. That's my bad. He thought I betrayed him so bad. He's like, you set me up to fail.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that was a great night. You know,
Oh, it was incredible.
starting with the Chelio stuff.
Yeah.
Were you even surprised by how the reception was? Obviously, you knew it'd be huge, but dude, that's the most I've ever clapped in my life.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It just kept on
we
going.
all were there. Yeah, we all were there.
Yeah, I think the thing is, you know, like, you know, usually you have the tribute video, then you go out and you do like your lap and your salute, and then that's, you know, you kind of move on to the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, like, I did the lap, and then like people are still cheering, so guys are like, go, like, go again. And I did another one, and then they're still cheering, and I think I did like a third lap.
Yeah.
And then, you know, finally, like, you know, it was the end of the commercial break or whatever, and you start the game again. But that was just something I'll never forget. The reception from the fans, you know, the video, the way they put all that effort into that, and then obviously the way the game goes. You know, you score in overtime, the game's over, and then I had another chance to really like salute the fans and just like, you know, kind of just, I guess, for lack of a better word, like be a Blackhawk again, right? Like, like, you know, just show them how much they meant to me, and their cheers back for me, even though like the opposing team won, and maybe there were some people that were kind of pissed off the way the game went, but some people still cheering because I scored. Like, it was just an incredible night overall, something I'll never forget. Like, couldn't have worked out any better. But
where does that goal rank for you?
You know, it's up there. It's up there, man. I mean, like, I think when you look back and you watch like certain goals of yourself and certain highlights, like that one's got to be up there as far as like how many times I've watched it. And you know, Ken Daniels, the play-by-play guy in Detroit, just makes an incredible call on it. Like, it's just gives you chills every time you watch it. But I would sit there with my son and we'd kind of watch it, like, not over and over, but like maybe once a day we'd be like, watch this again, you know? And just the call, being in Chicago, overtime, like I said, you know, they show the salute after the game, right? Like, that was just a great moment.
Stole Chelios' night.
Yeah.
I think he said something to me in the beginning too. He's like, "Don't go stealing my night." But you know, I'm sure it'll be the same thing when Taser comes back this year. Like,
sure.
He's going to get an incredible ovation, and hopefully has a similar result. But I'll never forget that night.
Yeah. And it was cool because all the guys were back too.
Yeah,
so all the guys, and like, do you keep in touch with a bunch of the guys for the Cup run?
Yeah, for sure. You know, Siebes was there, Dunks, Sharpie, Hossa was there.
Yeah.
So, you know, I didn't really know they were coming, but I'm walking in for the game, and then all of a sudden they're like coming in to say hi to me. It was incredible to see them. I know they're probably there for Chelly's night too, but just to see those guys, it was so cool. And then like you said, you know, obviously stay in touch with them. I talk to Siebes a lot. Sometimes you gotta, you know, you see him call him, you can't answer it because he's gonna be an hour on the phone. You gotta do something else besides talk to Brent Seabrook. But no, it's great. Like, even when we play Philly, like, I'll try to see Sharpie, right?
Yeah.
Like he works down there, and I'll try to see him, whether it's, you know, the night before or game day or something. Just say hi to him. It's always fun to see those guys.
Yeah.
Right? And that core group, like, they'll be my friends for life.
Yeah.
No matter if I see them every day or not, right?
Yeah.
Taser, Sharpie, Siebes, Dunks, Jalmerson, Crawford, like those are my guys. Hossa,
Jalmerson
you know?
is still like the most. If you've ever seen him in person, you're like, how's this guy? One of the toughest. He looks like an accountant.
Yeah.
You know, like you just,
now
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're like, this guy's his nails.
Yeah.
And it's just
Steel rib cage.
Yeah.
Walking every
insane.
Lay his body on the line.
Yeah.
Block every shot. It looked like he'd be done for the game, and he'd be out there next shift doing it again.
And if he walked into a bar, there's no way you'd be like, that's a professional athlete.
Yeah,
just because he's like not a big dude.
Yeah, he's like a little bold.
Yeah,
kid, like,
right. Yeah.
But you know, a lot of those guys, like, I can say, you know, with all the confidence in the world. Like those are some of my best friends in my life.
Yeah.
At a certain time, right? And it wasn't just one guy. It was 4 or 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
Like I love those guys. So that's what you need. You need a team that's close knit, that loves each other, that can bond well, but also, you know, obviously you need the product on the ice. But man, we had so much fun in those days off the ice. It was awesome.
Who was in your crew for the off ice days?
All those guys.
All of them.
Yeah. I mean, we would do things like, obviously, like, you know, Siebes and Dunks and Sharpie, they had their families and they'd be out, you know, wherever they were living, like more towards Lincoln Park or whatever. And we'd go out and hang out with them. And then like a bunch of us would go downtown and do our thing after, you know, we'd always hang out together. And it wasn't like it was ever forced, you know, it wasn't like, oh, we need to do like a team bonding event or something, you know. It was like every day we were hanging out with each other, guys like, you know, Burrish, Versteeg, you know, Taser, Sharpie, Dunk, Siebes, Host, like all of us were like, just what are we doing tonight?
Yeah, and that shit matters. I mean, you see the Panthers that, like, I feel like the Panthers going to dinner every night won them the cup. I know that's not how it works, but in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, no, it's a big part of it for sure. And sometimes you get on teams where it seems a little bit forced, like, oh, we need to do something together, you know, to up our team bonding, or it's like it shouldn't be forced. Right? It should be just natural, and that's how our teams were back in the day. We were just so close.
Also, ChevyDriveChicago.com. We know Chevy Drive Chicago has everything you need to shop and buy smart at your local Chevy dealer. Great styles, the latest tech. You look good and feel good about what you're driving. Now's the time to get into the Chevy family of EVs, Equinox EV, Blazer EV, and Silverado EV. Take advantage of all incentives today. Don't wait. Go to ChevyDriveChicago.com to find your local dealer and drive one today. We just got the text about Camp Barstool coming up in August. I was like, Chief, we rode in your Blazer last year. It was a comfortable ride. It was a secure ride and reliable ride.
Let's run it back.
Let's run it back. That's what I said.
Load up the boys in the Blazer again.
Are we in?
We'll head up to the Northwoods. It's going to be great.
It's going to be good.
You know what you could do on
What's
today,
that?
especially drive it with Taves and Kane drive.
Yes, exactly.
Chevy Drive
everyone
Chicago.
remembers that.
Yeah.
Chevy Drive Chicago.
Yeah.
Obviously, perfect ad for Patrick Kane. So head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to find your local dealer today and check out that whole fleet. You won't be disappointed.
I got a question about the cup runs, because one of my favorite things, and this might be a more of a Quenneville question, but it always felt like it took you guys a couple games to figure out a series, and then it would flip.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, being down 2-1 against the Lightning in 15. I think there was a Red Wings series. Did you guys ever panic, or were you just
They
like,
were all like that.
yeah, I know, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're down 2-1, but now Q's going to figure it out, and the teams, he's going to shift up the lines, and
That's a good question.
and they're just going to go.
There was that stat where like games 4 through 7, you guys were like 50.
Insane.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I think, you know, some of it, I'd like to think we were like just so naive to the situation. We were just young and like stupid, and we just knew we were good, right? But the other part of it, like you said with Quenneville, like, you know, every time going into a game, you have the advantage behind the bench. So what matchup is he going to want? Which adjustment is he going to make? And it's going to work every time, right?
Yeah.
And you have that advantage, which you know in the back of your mind, and not every team has that, right?
Yeah.
You know, some teams might think of their coach like, you know, what is this guy doing? Or, you know, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing. And then Quenneville was like, okay, he's gonna, you know, figure it out. He's gonna make his line changes. I went back and watched all those games, and like it's the same. I think the same way. Like,
Yeah.
How do we win this series? How do we win this game? Or like, oh, he thought like me playing with this guy was a good solution to you know, this point of the game or time of the series, and it worked.
Right buttons.
It worked.
Yeah.
Like, and there's times where like, what was the? Oh, I was watching the LA series the other day, and I wasn't playing that well, and Bickle, Hossa, and Taser were playing really well, and he switched me and Hossa up. And then all of a sudden I got going, you know?
Right.
I scored, and then like I felt good about my game, and then I score a hat trick in game 5, and all of a sudden I'm like taking off, right? And he just knew like
Press those buttons.
he knew how to get the best out of each player.
Yeah.
Which
So
was just
you owe
like
him a Conn Smythe.
Oh, I owe him a lot more. I owe him 3 cups. I owe him a Conn Smythe. I owe him.
But it always
I mean,
was. It was.
Do we have to keep going? Hart Trophy.
But it was so cool. That was the kind of the DNA of the team, that they were the first 3 games in a series didn't really matter. It was just like they're
Isn't
gonna
that crazy?
figure it out.
A little warm up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you have one game? Because you said you watched them all. Because I have one in mind where you're like, that was we played the perfect hockey game.
Perfect hockey game.
Because I have one game in mind where I'll tell people, I'll be like, I remember exactly where I was watching this. They played the perfect hockey game in playoffs.
Was it Tampa Game 6 maybe?
No, I was gonna say it was 2015 Game 7 against the Ducks.
Yeah,
That was literally I've never seen a team demolish a team.
I know.
And
right
right from the
thing,
get.
right? Like you watch those games, you can watch a bunch of different games, and there's a new guy that steps up.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, more guys are like, your top guys are, going to step up more than others. But like that game, I think we scored first shift or second shift maybe, and it was Taser. And then Taser scores on the power play.
Antoine Vermette had an OT winner, right?
Yeah, in that series he did.
Yeah, in that series. This game, I think it was like 7-3 final or something.
Yeah,
like that.
5-2, I think.
5-2. Yeah, there we go.
But it was
Taser had both goals.
Yeah, it was just never gave him a chance in a game 7.
But that's your captain, right? He's coming in. He scores 2 goals. It's 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. I mean, I think they made it 4-2, and then Siebes. Like Siebes, like how many big goals did that guy have?
A million.
Like he scores to make it 5-2, and it's like, okay, you can breathe a little bit. The game's out of reach.
He had 3 OT winners, like in that.
Yeah,
13
he had
or 15. He had
13. Yeah, I know he said.
He had 1 against Boston.
Has he had 3 total? 13. He had 1 against the Game 7 against Detroit, 1 against Boston. I know he had 1 against Nashville. I think that was 15. But I mean, like. Yeah. You need different guys to step up.
Like Bickle would turn into an animal.
Bickle, Shawzy, Shawzy had some big goals. You can go back and watch those games, and you could say this guy was the best player this night, this guy was the best the next night, and on and on. So we had some great teams, a lot of depth. But like I said, we were so close too, right?
Yeah.
And you wanted to win and play for each other, and we were a little naive as to maybe how good we were. Like we just kind of knew we were going to win in certain situations, but I think you need a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
Did the closeness allow you to kind of motherfuck each other on the bench if somebody wasn't?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who was like the captain of that? Being loud on the bench.
There were a lot of guys. It always seemed to be forwards and D kind of
back and forth
at each other. I was talking to Brian Campbell about it the other day. I saw him at the rink, and we were just laughing about that because that's not really. I don't want to say it's not allowed, but it's not encouraged anymore, right? Yeah. And back then, I mean, you could be yelling at guys the whole game, and the game could be over, and it's just like it's over, right? It's done with, and you move on, and you laugh about it, or it didn't really even happen.
Yeah,
and that's what was so great about our teams too. Like guys would be yelling at each other the whole game, forwards and D, Sieves, Dunks, Taser, myself. Sharpie, I got into it so many times with Sharpie, it's insane. And he was like a big brother, right? And it was just that's the way it was after the game. I mean, you didn't hold a grudge. It was over, and you move on, and you maybe laugh about it a bit. But I think that's something I don't want to say it lacks a little bit in today's game because I don't know if you really want to be yelling at your players all the time.
No, I think you do. I think that is.
I had a funny story about Panarin. He. I would kind of get on him a lot, like to start the season, and he said he would be up all night, like thinking about how he wants to come in the next day and just jack me in the face. And I'd see him in the morning. I'd be like, "What's up, Breadman?" He'd be like, a weight dropped off his shoulder. Oh, hey, what's going on?
I'm on a flight today.
Yeah.
So it was funny to hear that because he said he couldn't sleep.
Just looking at the mirror, being like,
I'd say hi to him the next morning and be like, does he even know?
So you know that I hate him right now? Was speaking of the forwards versus the D, is there any truth to stories how if you would see Jalmerson or Brent Sopel get on the ice, you would just get off? You're like, I'm not
get off the ice.
Yeah, no. you go for a change.
No.
Heard that a few times.
Is that a rumor?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're like,
that's a tough rumor.
Soap's not giving me the puck. I'm changing. Yeah,
Chalmerson's flipping out.
Yeah. Glasses is friend.
Keep my shift average down here.
Yep.
No, not at all. I mean, like Chalmerson, you gave him the puck in the slot. Like he had a good enough shot. Where he could score, right?
Yeah.
So. No, that's not true, but
okay.
that's a bad rumor.
I love that story. Like, get him next time.
How much FOMO did you have watching the Four Nations?
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously you're not going to that, right? So you plan your vacation, and I ended up going to Cabo, but I was like trying to search on the TV. Like I'm in Cabo, like the only guy in this hotel room, like searching how to get these games on the TV because I couldn't stream it because I was in Mexico. So I'm like trying to figure it out. And then sometimes you'd get the games and sometimes you wouldn't. But every game that I could watch, I watched. And It's as a hockey fan, it was great hockey. It was fun to watch, but like, obviously you're there and you wish you could be playing, but it was I didn't have the greatest start to the season, so I kind of expected that I wasn't going to make the team, and it is what it is. Like, I mean, Billy Guerin and Mike Sullivan, like they were great about it. They both met with me in person and kind of explained the situation. I understood completely. But I had a good finish to the season and hopefully get off to a hot start. So
that is a goal for the Olympics in 26.
Oh, I would love to play. I would love to be part of that. And
that's real. The Four Nations was an exhibition. It was an all-star.
Didn't even count.
But it was fun.
Would I say something different if the USA won?
Yes.
Hell yes. I would. But as it stands, it was exhibition.
Yeah. And at the Olympics, it's like it's the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not just there for hockey. Like there's other events, other sports going on, and it's you see different athletes. Like you're in the village with a bunch of different athletes. It's incredible to be a part of. So would love to be part of that, and try to have a good start to make the team.
Hey, let's take a break because I want to talk about Reef. Reef took everything you love about sandals and built it into shoes. Take their Neptune and Del Mar styles. They're designed to feel good all day and look good doing it. The Neptune is the MVP. It's breathable. It's lightweight with a collapsible heel for that slip-on, cruisy living. The Del Mar steps it up with the more structure and style. Good enough for date night, easy enough for every day. Be honest, we've done it all. Worn the wrong pair of shoes for the occasion just to avoid foot fatigue. Both built full of technical failures, swell sole, construction expanded, TPU insoles, engineered mesh uppers, and more. They're loaded. That's what I love about Reef is I have that Del Mar pair, and you're always worried if you got a long day full of water, like the White Sox game tomorrow.
Can I make a confession?
Yeah.
I'm not wearing them right now, but I wish I was.
Because your feet hurt?
My feet, my dogs are barking.
Yeah, a lot going on. Windy City Smokeout. A lot going on this weekend where if you have those, you look good and they feel good. They got a lot of cushion. So go take a look at reef.com/stretch. Use promo code STRETCH15 to get 50% off your first order over $49 or get free shipping on any order over $65. That's reef.com/stretch and use promo code STRETCH15 for 15% off your first order over $49.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's where it's like I feel like you need a little bit extra to just get the veteran guy out there. Have you thought about what's after hockey yet?
No.
Look around your guys at Sharps and Philly.
Yeah. I mean, like,
because you're such like a nerd for hockey. I was talking to Strome. Strome would be like, yeah, if I say like, hey, we're playing the Wild, you'd be like, oh, I got 62 points against them in my career.
No,
you just have like that.
Awesome.
Like he says that about you. Strome's like he just has a brain, like he just remembers like everything.
Yeah, and he's like that too.
Yeah.
So we kind of go back and forth a little bit. I will see. I mean, hopefully I can play a lot longer. I think that's kind of where the focus is now, just to play as long as I can. And to be honest with you, the body's feeling really good, so I'm excited about this year and what I can do. And then we were talking about a little bit earlier. I have a 4-year-old son, and he's kind of getting into hockey and some different things. So it'd be fun to maybe follow him, his career or whatever he's doing at that time a little bit before maybe jumping back into hockey. So I don't want to say it's like something I'll never do, but right now it's not really on the mind yet.
Yeah. Have you tried wing nuts in Buffalo yet?
No.
Oh, wow.
What's your number one in Buffalo? Wings.
Imperial Pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it's like honestly where I grew up, like 2 blocks away from my house, and every time we won the cup, bring the cup back there and put the wings in. And,
hell yes.
And that's a great spot. So Fabe's always messes with me. He says there's too many Kane jerseys in the. I got like 5 different Kane jerseys in the place, but it's incredible. If you're ever in Buffalo, check it out. Imperial Pizza in South Buffalo. It's awesome.
Love that.
Speaking of which, I know you're a big Gail Street in guy.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that a couple days ago. That's brutal.
Devastating.
Yeah.
So I know you got a couple more years to play, but if you want to buy with me and we could
bring it back.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Think about
if
it.
you're serious about it.
Yeah.
I was honestly
very serious.
Hey, he's very serious.
For investors.
When I saw that,
That was the only question on his list.
I was legit thinking when I saw that, like, I wish I could have done something.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's do it.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And when Eddie says let's do it, he's saying I'll give Eddie money and he'll do it. But yeah, I'm in.
You're the silent partner. Yeah.
I mean, there was times where I would go there the night before games because I was like, I'm gonna score a goal. Like
Yeah.
I'm guaranteed to score a goal if I have ribs from the Gail Street the night before the game. So but they're incredible. Like I've never had ribs like that, where they fall off the bone like that. It's just
Because you were living with Bowman. At the
yeah,
time, right?
yeah, I was right there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I was introduced to it. I lived with Stan my first year in the league, and it was awesome just being with Stan, and Scotty would come in town and just watch hockey with Scotty Bowman. He'd have his laptop, and he'd have like games on the TV, and he'd have like every game on the laptop back then. 2007, like that was ahead of his time. But he just loved hockey. It'd be cool to watch it with him and talk to him. But then we'd go to Gail Street, and they kind of introduced me to it, and I was like, this place is unreal. I loved it.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Thinking of you at 18, like being a hockey nerd, watching that many games with Scotty Bowman is insane.
Yeah. Oh, it was
the dream.
awesome. And he was great too. Like he'd find a way to motivate you. I remember we were playing Vancouver in 2009, and I walked on the bus one day for practice, and Scotty's there, and he hands me like a newspaper, and like has the article highlighted that he wants me to read, and it said something like they were interviewing Willie Mitchell, and he said something like, Kane isn't really a guy we have to worry about too much 5-on-5 on the power play. Yeah, something like that. And he handed it to me,
Really?
and I read it, and I remember it like kind of like pissed me off a little bit. And then I played really well that series. I had the hat trick in game 6 and I think I had 6 goals that series. But things like that, to kind of motivate you a little bit. It was just something so subtle too. As I was walking by, hey Scotty, and he just hands me the paper.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
Was there a guy that you liked to like chirp? Because you're kind of known for that too, like having a little mouth on you on the ice.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
How do you know?
You see guys go on chiclets, and then you'll skate by. I think it was who was that defenseman? I hated him. But he was saying it was like him, and it might have been Willie Mitchell, and he was like, you would chirp out Lane, like you're throwing.
Oh yeah, I know what story you're talking about.
Yeah.
Andrew Alberts.
Alberts,
yeah. That story was maybe a little bit too far.
Okay, all right.
Chirping basically the coach.
Yeah.
saying like, what's this guy doing on the ice?
Right. Yeah.
But like, come on, have some respect.
Right.
Yeah, what's this guy doing? on the ice?
Throw a real guy out.
But yeah, I mean, it's part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Especially back then. I mean, like, there was a lot of it. I feel like guys are more like, especially nowadays, they're like complimentary a little bit to the point where it throws me off a little bit.
Is it because you're you, or is that like
yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so much league wide. Like, there's definitely still some chirping, but what happened this year? Oh, I went up against Brady Kachuk, and he was like, getting into me on the face-off. I'm like, come on, give me some space or something. And he's like, okay, since it's you, I will. Yeah. And then it's like, and it's over,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's like I wasn't serious.
But
Actually,
yeah, like I heard the finals. Whoops, sorry about that. I heard the finals was like pretty intense as
Yeah.
far as the
Yeah.
chirping, right?
Yeah.
Like I heard guys were getting pretty gutless with it. So it's obviously still a part of the game, but maybe not so much for me as much.
Yeah.
We got to bring up the clip from the parade.
Oh,
We talk about this all the time. Do you remember this? I could see. I didn't even play yet, and I could see he does. When Versteeg was doing his rap, everyone's been there. Everyone has been there. You just like the dry heave spit. The dry heave spit of like, I'm gonna vomit all over this stage. Do you remember that?
Of all clips to bring up, that's one we're gonna bring up.
But it's just because it's so relatable. We've
Yeah.
all been there.
Yeah. That day was crazy, man. It was
hot.
like,
It was a hot day.
And it's also like the 4th straight day.
yeah. What did we do? We did the night after the game, and then we did the next night, and then we had the parade the next day, and we didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah, what was the bar in River North? This American, what was that? Junkie.
American.
Yeah.
And we're just there
Oh my
partying, and then all of a sudden it's like, Kaner's on the roof. He was on the fucking roof, spraying into
the street. Yeah.
No, into this bar.
Oh,
yeah, it was like this little like roof
Yeah.
on top of the
Yeah.
bar. He was just on top
They
of it.
brought us
spraying
up there.
down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some of the stuff we did. But this one in 2010, yeah, we had like 2 go nights, and then the next day was a parade, and we're just showing up like we didn't really know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
Like it was the first time we're going through it. Then all of a sudden the like rumblings get out that there's gonna be 2 million people, And then like they were gifting guys with champagne, and then you see guys like carrying their champagne bottle to the bus. So guys are like running back and getting their own. And then like people are throwing beers at you on the bus. So you're like, all of a sudden it just became a big party.
Yeah.
And you thought it was just a kind of like a parade to celebrate with the fans, and it was like, you know,
Nope.
couple nights in one morning piled into one, and then all of a sudden you're not feeling too good.
And it was hot, and they made you wear the jerseys. So
the one clip we bring up.
we brought up your goal. Yeah.
Bring up a goal.
All right, let's talk about the goal against Philly in
it's on.
2010. Yeah.
We had to, because we just talked about it like a couple weeks ago before we even knew you were coming.
Yeah.
We're like, man, it's just, we've all been there. We've all fucking been there. You're just done.
Yeah. So, I mean, those, like I said, those nights after you win, it's like, I mean, you were with us.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
It's just like,
Work hard,
you
play
don't really know where the night's going, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
Let's get back.
and
on
you
the
can
bus.
kind of see it now with like some clips of like Florida.
Yeah.
Like those guys are just,
It's
I do
they're having the
think that-
time of their life.
Yeah.
I do think the Chicago ones look so much more wild though. Like 15
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
insane. Like
Yeah.
they're
Just the bus going around. Just
Yeah.
like, it would literally just be bus stop.
we're going
get
to
out
rock, we're going to
with
rock.
the cup.
Yeah.
Take a bunch of shots. Spray
Yeah.
some champagne. Get
Yeah.
on the bus. Go to
Yeah.
the next one.
And that was a cool thing too about the team. Like we tried to hit like every spot
Yeah.
we could, you know,
Yeah.
and just shared a little bit with the city, which was great.
Is there a
You know, obviously
bar?
there were some really fun things to be a part of too, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I remember in 2010 they were talking about my cup day, and they're like, "We're gonna give it to you a little bit later," and I was like, "That's fine." Like, I mean, obviously I don't care. I'm 21 years old. We're gonna give it to you a little bit later, but you're gonna jump on a chartered plane the next day, and you're gonna go to the Jimmy Buffett concert.
Oh,
And
Right.
was
I
like,
remember that.
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
So,
was
like-
it Wrigley, right?
The first one was at what's the
I feel like
where did the fire play? Was that at
Oh,
Toyota?
yeah.
Yeah. So you know, we do that, and then all of a sudden you win in 13 and 15, it becomes a tradition, right? So you're going on stage with Jimmy
Yeah.
Buffett, like
Yeah.
hanging out with him before, like. I remember I have clips of me playing like ping pong with Jimmy Buffett. Like it's like you know, you never really know what's gonna come of these days, but no, like some of those nights were just incredible, and people they don't come to see you, you know, they come to see
Yeah.
the cup, and
Yeah.
that thing is like that thing just draws people.
And it always would. People would be so disappointed because they don't realize the cup has a curfew. And they
Yeah.
would just, like at like 11 p.m. they would just take it away, and no one would really realize that the cup was gone, but it
I'm-
had to be
That was-
gone.
that
I
was
missed
actually-
my picture in
Yeah,
15.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'll get it later. And
yeah,
they-
it's
yeah.
like, nope, it's
That
out.
was actually funny too. In 2010, the day we came back from the Buffett concert, like we took it out to a bunch of bars in Wrigley, and the Cup guy's like, "Yeah, you know, we'll keep it out all night for you. We're not gonna have a curfew." And all of a sudden, like it's like 12 or 1 or something, and guys are like spraying each other with like beer bottles, champagne bottles, whatever. And we all like look at the Cup guy. And he's like, if you do that, I'm taking the cup home. We sprayed him anyway. He's like, he's like walking out of the bar, he's dripping wet.
Yeah.
Taking the cup home. Well, that day, we were like,
the shit that guy is
Yo.
yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
sober. He's just
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
everyone just go nuts. He's just staring at the cup the entire time, being like, "Don't drop it.
Don't fuck
drop
this up."
it."
yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. And they're pretty strict about who can lift it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to lift it with me, I have to like hold the side, and you can lift the other side.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I
with
carried
Sean,
it
yeah.
out of in 15 out of tavern,
Really.
and I know about like the rules.
Yeah.
Sharpie's like, we've won it 3 times. We don't give a fuck. So he's like, just walk it out. So
Yeah.
I just walked it out of tavern.
Did
put
you
it on
lift
the
it
bus.
over your head?
Oh yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you see some people get away with it.
I got
right?
away
I
with
mean,
it.
I think
yeah.
like Keith.
I mean,
Chuck-
Sharpie
Yeah.
told me to.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
he
Sharpie
was,
and Seeds.
Yeah.
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 Those were, and the best was there would be like the cup tracker on Twitter.
Yeah.
They'd try to guess where it goes, and then I would just start tweeting. I'd be like, "It's going here," and people are like, "You don't know what you're talking about," and I just take a picture
of
me
it?
sitting with it in my lap. And be like, "Yeah, I do."
It's awesome.
Coming with me.
Yeah. Oh man,
All right.
Great days.
glory days.
Those were the best.
Yeah.
It was, like, and all of us, like being in our 20s, like
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
were too.
Yeah.
So it's like you're out of the
That's
We're a
bars.
young
It was
team.
like,
It's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't even feel real, right? When you look back on those days, it's
Yeah.
like
It also doesn't
totally
feel-
different life.
I feel like it was a decade ago.
Like
Yeah.
Tuesdays
Yeah.
felt like Saturdays, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesdays were as crazy as
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And the whole city was locked in.
Yeah.
Where it's like now it's like people know Bedard. That's kind of
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
yeah. But that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great run.
Good times.
It's a great run.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
It's great
no
seeing you.
problem. It's nice to come in.
Yeah.
Nice to finally talk to you guys. You guys have been great to me, so supportive of me. So truly appreciate that.
We're all Kane guys.
Yes. For life.
Yeah.
For life.
A lot, like all my favorite memories of that decade were centered around you guys.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.